Hey everyone, so today the question for this video is Tameshigiri realistic and is there any point in doing it? So a lot of people approach this question as, is the cutting resistance of tatami mats realistic to the human body? And I think that's been done a million times, so that's not what today's video is about, because essentially it comes down to how fat is your human, how many mats are you cutting, how wet are they, how dense are they, and what brand are they from? And is the human that you are cutting completely naked? Because if you add any clothing, any armor, anything else, well, no, it's not realistic. So that's not how we're going to approach the question today. Today we're going to look at, can you do those cuts that you do in Tameshigiri in real life swordsmanship, when you're fighting another human being, whether that be in a duel, in sparring, or in battlefield combat. And I think the key answer there is no. The opponent just won't let you. Unless you have an opponent that's a limp fish who can't move, then you'll never be able to get that perfect kesagiri on your target. They just won't let you do it because it's too obvious. They'll counter it and they'll do something to protect themselves. A resistive human being won't let you do those cuts that you do in Tameshigiri. And I think when it comes down to it, then we have to remember that Tameshigiri is a Zen art. The point of it is to hone your concentration, hone your focus, and do the best possible cut that you can on the target. And in real life sparring, then, you don't have a moment to compose yourself. You can't just wait till you're in the right mind frame to do the cut. The opponent won't let you, they'll do something first. And historically, when we look at Tameshigiri, then the reason why it's a Zen art done today is because it wasn't actually done to test the skill of the swordsman like it is today. So in today's day and age, then Tameshigiri is to show off your skill with the sword, to say, look, I can do these cuts and I can do them well. But historically, Tameshigiri was done to test the sword. The swordsman's skill was not in question. And it was about doing the best possible cut with the sword in hand so that you can see what the sword does to the targets, not what the swordsman can do. And if you take that to a sparring situation, will you ever be able to do your best possible cut on an opponent? Very, very rarely, or if ever. It's just not a thing that the opponent will let you do. So is it still worthwhile doing Tameshigiri? Well, I think yes. I think very, very much so, yes. Because Tameshigiri sets the upper limit of what you can do with your swordsmanship. If your upper limit is that you can't cut through a mat, then there's probably an issue with your acceleration through the target or your edge alignment. And that means that the lower limit of your skills will also be lower because your edge alignment is wrong, your acceleration through the target is wrong. There's some fundamental issue with your swordsmanship. And I think that Tameshigiri raising that upper limit of your skill helps to raise the lower limit of your skill as well. And so you may not be able to do that perfect kesagiri through your target in sparring, in a duel, then you may not be able to do it. But it doesn't mean that those suboptimal cuts, those lesser cuts that you can do, that you can land, won't be better. They'll have better edge alignment, they'll have better form, they'll have better structure, and they'll have better acceleration through the target. So should you do Tameshigiri? Absolutely yes. I think that without a doubt, yes. Because even though it's not realistic, it will raise your skills. And I think there's a good takeaway message from that there, that we shouldn't just be looking at drills and saying, well, how realistic is that? A lot of people look at a lot of drills that people do in swordsmanship and say, well, that's not realistic. There's no point in doing that. But, if you only do realistic drills, then by the end of it, you'll only be sparring with sharp swords and other human beings, and there's a good reason why we don't do that, because it's straight up unsafe. So I think looking at Tameshigiri and realizing that it's not realistic, but it still will improve your overall skills, is a good way to look at it and to apply that mindset to other swordsmanship drills as well. So I hope you liked today's video, and with that, I'll see you next time.